my scrappy friends, welcome to the Clique Kits channel. This is a mixed media slash sketch layout for you, and I'm going to be using the main kit to do this layout. So I'm starting off with a piece of cardstock, and this is the thicker smooth cardstock, and I put some gesso on it, and then I am going to use that textures paste and do that viney stencil. I'm so technical. I really wanted to kind of like make it look naturey without it being over, and the way that that stencil worked was really nice. So definitely had to clean it off. And I just picked like for this kind of thing, because I'm going to be using watercolors and stuff, it didn't need to have like a lot of stuff in it though. I could have just used regular. So I'm putting some gems on it, and now you're seeing me put on some beads, and these are just like clear little tiny beads, and I'm putting this on the wet stencil, and so I kind of pushed it down just a smidge, and then I let it dry for a while. Now this probably really should have dried overnight, but I was really impatient. So as you can see, I have 3 different kinds of Shimmerz pots, and I'm using Dandelion Creamies. I think that's Paradise Punch, and I want to say I think I was using the Peacock Plume color, but I'm not positive. And then I'm also going to pull out my my other watercolor from Prima, because I wanted to mix like a teal color. Now I could have used the shimmer stuff that I had, but like because this is for Clique Kits, right? You can find the Prima paint in the store, and you can find some of the shimmer stuff. So also, really when it comes to this kind of thing, I think really just picking out colors that are your favorite are really just fun. So I really like this blue. And you know what? This might be the boogie boarding blue, actually. I think it is. And I really like this color. It's really fun. It's nice and blue. It reminds me of ocean, which is why I put the beads in it. I wanted it to kind of look like bubbles, because this rainbow is going to go to a photo of a picture of a rainbow with a waterfall. So I really kind of wanted it to look like the water was going over. And I really put a lot of water over top of the stencil. And I had to be really careful, because if I pressed down too much, I was smushing the stencil, and I really wanted the color to go through those marks on the stencil and just really show. So as you can see, I mixed this teal color with some green and blue to just get different variations. And so I use some really dark elements and some really light elements. And on both the top and the bottom, I kind of had the water go. I put water on the paper and then put my paint into the water, so it kind of seeped out. And this is a practice that you see a lot when you watch just watercolor people. They'll wash the paper with water, and then they'll go back through and add some paint, and it'll just spread, and it does this really cool thing. And so with the purple, I used a little bit of the Prima stuff too, just to kind of mix in with that teal, because I wanted the colors to mix. Now, one of the things that I wish I really had a hard time with the rainbow, the colors, because I wanted to put the purple in the middle of the blue and the teal, and have the teal at the end with those stones, because they're teal. But I know that when you look at a rainbow, the purple is always at the bottom, and so I just had a really hard time. So I just mixed it up, and I really like that contrast of the green stones next to the teal, and then the purple, and then I just splattered some water or some of the paint onto the paper. Now I kind of wish I just had splattered at the bottom and maybe just kept that orangey yellow up at the top. I think it would have looked a little bit better, because some of my blue mixed in with the yellow, and it didn't look so good, but that's okay. it's okay, right? Because those are things that you can kind of cover up, or it just kind of makes your layout more unique, I think. Um, and obviously it's a choice, you know, but I really love how this turned out. I waited till the next day, so I did this overnight and I let it sit all night because I knew that those stones really needed to sit and harden into that stencil or they were going to fall off. So yeah, and I'm going to cut this paper down just a little bit and then put it on that black and white stripe. I really wanted something that was going to make the colors pop because they're really bright. It's kind of hard to tell maybe as you're watching this, but they're really bright and vibrant. That's the one thing I absolutely love about like um the Prima colors, that you can really get them nice and saturated. I mean, the Shimmerz are like that too, but it's a little bit different because some of them are a lot paler. So it just depends on what color you get. So, but I really wanted it to look like this rainbow was coming off. So my picture, I think, is closer to a 3x4. It might be a little bit bigger, but yeah. So this is a picture that I took with my really nice camera. I like when I can get it out and play with it. And yeah, like I said, I'm using the main kit because I really loved the colors. So I thought about using that pattern because it kind of reminded me a little bit of the stencil pattern that I used, but in the end I decided to use the side with all the different colors that are pretty much in my rainbow anyway. So I thought that was kind of cool that they were together. So I'm just working on these because I didn't want them to be really big. And sometimes I can let my exuberance and love for layers to like overwhelm. And because this is really about that mixed media bit. And with the way that sketch is, I mean, I really didn't want it to overpower, but I wanted some of that paint paper to just really come through because it's really awesome and it's really cool and it ties in the paint with paint and all that good stuff. And I really liked, so I backed the photo up with that black and white on the other side because I cut out the middle, which I didn't need to do. I could have just left it. But sometimes I like to do that just because I'm not sure if I'm going to want. Like if I really think I'm going to use the inside, I will cut it out because it does make your paper go a little bit further. I mean, and now is not as much of a problem, right? For me, because I have a ton of paper. But for a lot of people who just get their kits and you're not buying a lot of product, I understand like wanting to make the most of your paper. I mean, I used to use like every little bit of my papers for my kits. So I'm always trying to think about that too when I'm creating. So now I'm looking at all the pieces in the pack because we have this floral type of pack and it has tons of leaves and stuff, and I was thinking about wanting to use leaves because I don't really want to use the flowers because they don't have anything to do with my photo. And this photo is of a waterfall that's here in Washington. I live out near Mount Rainier, about an hour away. And so there's no tropical flowers. It may be a rainforesty type of atmosphere, but it is not tropical at all. It does not feel tropical either, and it actually did not feel tropical while we were hiking. We went hiking on Memorial Day weekend, and there was still snow on a lot of where we were on my Mount Rainier. The trail that we went on where this waterfall was, we actually had to stop going because there was so much snow. But that's not what this layout is about. This layout is about that waterfall, and it was so amazing because it just came rushing off, and you could feel, like, I'm taking pictures and I could feel the spritz of the waterfall, and you could see that rainbow down at the bottom, and it was just like, it was just so fun to see this rainbow down at the bottom, and it was really cool. It was really cool. So I just got that picture of just the rainbow because I just wanted to highlight that. And sometimes I think that's really fun. A thing that we can do is, even if we have this grand photo, because I mean, if you look at the whole waterfall is amazing as well, but like sometimes sneaking in and getting that detail is really fun. So I'm gonna layer some of these leaves and stuff because I want to emphasize more of the foliage and, you know, that part of it, and not so much the flowers. And I think it worked really well. I mean, taking something that's tropical, like that was one of my the things that I was worried about with this kit, was that it's very tropically. And even though I have tons of tropical photos that I could definitely pull out of my arsenal and reprint and stuff, I don't want to just reprint a photo that I've used, or I mean, or go through and look through a lot of old photos. I want to use photos that I have now. So it was really cool that I could take that and still get use out of my kit, even though it had elements that were really tropically. So just think about that kind of thing when you're using your kits, is that just because it seems like it is more um, out of what you think you're going to use it for, you can still find bits and pieces that you can use. So yeah. So different parts of these I put up on pop dots and stuff because I wanted a little bit of dimension. I mean, I have so much going on with that rainbow from the sketch, but I definitely wanted there to be more interest. I wanted stuff to pop up. I definitely put my photo already on pop dots and stuff because with all that media, I didn't want it to smush into it. I wanted it to kind of lift up above that. So now I am gonna go into the Traveler's Notebook kit a little bit. So I know I said I use mostly the main kit, which I do, but I do kind of pick out a few things from the Traveler's Notebook kit. This is one thing that I love, that even though these collections really have nothing to do with each other, I was able to put them together and make a cohesive layout. So one of the awesome things is that this color from Shimmerz matches this alpha really well. And I ended up with like the orangey yellow color. A full sheet of that. So it was really cool because at first I was thinking that I would try to use like a different color for the title and have like the top part of it be the top and then down at the bottom, but I didn't end up having enough letters to do that. So I just ended up using all of the same color, and I think it looks really good that way. So it looks really cool. It looks like that water spritzing is kind of coming up, and it looks a lot like the photo itself because that that top layer is like so amber colored, or the light color, because of all the sun. It was really sunny when we went. So it was really awesome. So now things are coming. I'm going to add a few pieces from the Traveler's Notebook ephemera collection, and that is from Pretty Little Studio. It's Hello Heather, the X Heart collection, and it's really cute. It's super cute. There's a lot of fun elements to it, and I liked that I could tie in some purple even though it's not the same color. I liked that I could tie that in a little bit. And I did add a Yes Please sticker as well on top of my photo. And I think that's Amy Tan, and it worked out really nicely. It's like holographic looking, which I'm not a big fan of the holographic stuff, but that one just really matched to the color of that yellow in the waterfall. So it worked out really nicely. And then I am going to stick a couple of these puffy stickers from Ellie's Studio, and I really like the one that has the rainbow, so it helps tie in some rainbow stuff. And then I'm going to use the butterfly up at the top because it just matches. And I use the round piece, the love, that has the pineapple in it because I just love pineapples. I can't help it. But also it just was really nice that I could add something exclusive too. And it's flat, so it works. So here are the close-ups. As you can see, I added a few enamel dots after, just and stuff, and that washi tape looks really cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you head over to the store and check out all of our add-ons for this month and next month. We are starting to release the sneak peeks and getting ready for next month. And so we have tons of stuff still on sale. So make sure you hit the moving up sale. So I'll see you guys later, and I hope you have a great scrappy week. Bye.